Hello and welcome to HTMcast. Today for you we have it's the fifth one. I don't think we need to keep numbering them. You can just look at the title.
Fifth one, guys. Yay, 5, like the number.
Are we gonna keep counting until welcome to HTMcast number 552?
Dude, we always quit before we get over that high. It's fine. So hi guys, welcome back.
Hello. I'm Ty.
I'm Mishy.
I'm Hat.
And we talk about stuff.
There are 3 sections to our podcast. The first one is News or Our Feed, and that's where we talk about anything new going on in real live servers or PvE and things. And then Tibble section.
Forum lurking, woo, where I talk about all the cool, red posts and what the devs are talking about and, cool leaks and things, maybe.
And then Hat section.
Where we derail things and I talk about what I found on the internet this week.
We take 2 train, like Hot Wheels, and we smash them together, and it's a different train every week, and we just record ourselves doing that.
I wish. That would actually be cool to put in the video. Then maybe people will actually watch these.
What we should do is we should get Hot Wheel ones, and we'll do it, and I'll edit it and make it look like amazing, like real trains, and it'd be okay.
Guys, the derail goes after everything.
So what you guys are looking at right now, I did this last one, but I want to explain it now, is I have a little intro thingy where there's a picture for each thing we're talking about in each section, and you can click on that picture. So if you don't want to listen to the whole podcast and you're like, oh, I want to listen, I want this, you click on it and it takes you to that part.
Came here for Trundle and I'm gonna get my Trundle.
No spoilers.
Wow, spoiling.
So
they already know. I put it in the title or the description or something.
Considering this isn't even uploaded yet. Hi.
I can presume what I do in the future. I know myself very well.
Stop.
News or I feed.
No, wait, I'm not done yet.
You're not done yet.
No.
What?
You click on the picture and it skips to that part of the video. And for all of you tryhards who watch our videos before I can add those in, you're awesome, but stop it, because I want the annotations in first. Because it looks so dumb when I'm like, click the picture, and there's nothing to click. So stop. If it's not there, close the tab, come back to it later, and it'll be there.
We love you, fans. Please keep watching our videos.
No, we hate you.
Just
Go
ignore
away.
her. You can watch them whenever you want.
Alright, Dibble, song intro.
News or I feed.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't really think the 2 boys care about this, but something that's kind of annoyed with me is that my section is supposed to be where we talk about visual updates and new champions and stuff, but all of that is in Tybalt's section. So Tybalt and I is gonna be a little bit combined to an extent.
No, it's not.
You shut up.
It doesn't have to be. You're just a punk, and you can't accept that you get enough stuff.
Nope.
You just want the whole show to yourself.
Maybe you should have picked a better section.
Ouch.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the new Zac skin. We finally have the splash art for it. Special weapon Zac.
Well, Zac is technically on the client as of now.
I'm getting there. So Zac's on the client at the moment with the 3.5 patch that came out today, but with some bugs and stuff, it's down. But he is there. I don't think he's available yet. Although knowing us, he'll probably be available tomorrow. So when you listen to this, he'll probably already be available. But
I don't think he's bugged. It's just not ready to release the champion yet.
well, I meant that everything else with Riot's broken at the moment. So
Everything's always broken with Riot. So he's there, he's in the client, you just gotta wait for Riot to actually launch him.
So that's cool. I like the skin. I like that it's purple. And I'm still kind of hoping for some special effects.
It's called Special Weapon Zac.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
I
Next.
do find that skin interesting, by the way. It's just
Why?
like what Zac could have been.
Yeah.
That is what all the skins that our champions are released with lately are supposed to be. Like, what if they were released in a different universe? Lord Darius, where he was the king of Noxus instead of Swain and stuff. Or, good Syndra.
I just thought that was cool.
It's pretty neat. I like to use purple.
Sorry for interrupting her.
Oh, no, you're good. You're allowed to have opinions.
I am?
When we give them to you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so next, we can finally actually sit down and talk about this. So Karma is on live, even if she's disabled or whatever, but she's there.
Riot.
The new Karma's out, and we can actually talk about her abilities without fears that they're going to change tomorrow.
It's all solid?
To an extent.
It's all on live.
Hopefully.
Complete rework tomorrow.
Since it's on live, we're going to go ahead and cross our fingers and just hope that it's actually going to stay this way. There'll probably be some minor tweaks, but...
So in case you've been living under a rock for the past month or so, Karma was like the most underplayed champion in history of the champions,
She's
aside
about
from
to be the most
Urgot.
overplayed one.
Mm-hmm. And so Riot was like, we can just completely redo her. And so they did. So they took the old boring Karma and made her into a new awesome Karma, and she's got new spells and new effects and new everything. But it's still kind of the old Karma, but better.
And if any of you don't know, you should probably know this, and you probably do, but since they're changing the way she looks completely, there's also a traditional skin that's available, so you get that old Karma effect. Anybody who owns her before, as of Thursday, anyone who owned it before that should have gotten the skin for free. And it's also available for purchase for like a week or two, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's a thing. I like that they did that. I hope they keep doing it.
It's going to be a legacy skin, right? Or did they say?
Probably limited edition. Do you think they'd bring it back?
I don't know.
I don't know what Riot does.
I was wondering if you guys read anything about it.
No. I haven't.
Jeez, not doing research. God.
So are we getting on to the long part now? Patch notes?
No, we're going to talk about Karma's abilities now that we can actually talk about them.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is a
that.
part of the patch notes, to be fair.
Well, to an extent.
Her passive is that whenever she does damage to enemy champions, either with her spells and a half effect for her basic attacks, it reduces the cooldown of her ultimate, Mantra.
It's called
We'll get to
Gathering
that.
Fire.
Her
name
Mantra is her ultimate that she gets at level 1. She activates it, and her next ability has a bonus effect. So she doesn't have a real ultimate, but each of her abilities has like a bonus ability that is on par with an ultimate. So she really has 3 ultimates.
Kind of like Nidalee, I'd like to say, but without the changing, where it's just a different set of abilities, but...
Not like Nidalee.
I'm going to go with, like... It's like Nidalee, where the R doesn't really do anything, and it gives her the new abilities, like Lee Sin, how Lee Sin has that second one. Like, if you do it first, and then you do it again, you get a different
No, it's
thing.
not like that either.
It is. Listen to me, guys. I know what I'm talking about.
No, it's the same ability, but like
It's like
ultimate
LeBlanc
level,
more than anything.
give or take.
You activate your ult, and your skills have something better to do. Except
Mhm.
hers are more defined.
You guys just don't like my explanation.
You are terrible at explaining
You're
things.
both
I'm
That's
terrible
why
at
we're
explaining
here.
Things. Jeez.
So her
So,
Q.
Inner Flame. She fires a blast of energy that explodes upon enemy contact, dealing magic damage and slowing them all. And then, if you use it with Mantra, it turns into Soul Flare, which deals more damage and leaves a circle of fire where it impacted. It heavily slows all enemies inside this circle of fire, and then after a brief delay, it explodes to deal more damage. So, at first, it's just like cooldown, skill shot, nuke with a slow, and then it turns into skill shot, super nuke with a super slow and another super nuke.
Kind of sounds like Luxie, in a way.
Kind of.
If I said that, you guys would shut me down.
Who are you?
Shut up.
W is Focused Resolve. It's like her old chain ability. She links herself to an enemy champion only, revealing them and dealing damage. And if the link is not broken, the enemy is rooted. So it's
Kinda
removed
like
the part...
LeBlanc?
It's more like Morgana ult. Well, yeah, it is
LeBlanc
like the
has
LeBlanc
that.
chain, too.
Yeah.
It's damage
did
over
that
time,
beforehand,
though.
right?
It's not fixed damage.
She did it, but it was like to allies. She always linked herself to
I was about to
allies.
explain that. She could link herself to allies to speed them up or to enemies to slow them down. But now she can only link herself to enemies to slow them down and then root them. And then with the Mantra bonus, it is Renewal. It deals bonus damage over the time and heals Karma for a % of her missing health while linked to the target. So, she chains herself to the enemy. They'll still get slowed and then rooted, but then it will also heal her for as long as they're chained to her.
It's a pretty good amount of health, too. As of the moment, it's a quarter of her health, plus 1% per 100 AP.
Ouch.
That's
Wonderful.
Quite a nice heal. It is missing health, though, so you have to use it when you're low for the best effect.
That's what she was all about to begin with, right? The
Low
lower
health
she- yeah.
for more power. Her E is Inspire. Target ally gains a shield, granting movement speed for a brief duration and absorbing damage. So she still has the thing where she can give allies bonus movement speed, but it was taken off the chain and put on her shield. And then her shield plus mantra still does the old thing where the shield does explosion damage, but where it hurts everybody who's near the person you shielded, but then it also shields nearby allies, and they are given bonus movement speed as well.
It's called Defiance.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say one thing. If I'm reading these numbers right, each of her skills does equal an ult with her mantra. I think it's actually stuff like her W does almost 600 damage alone at max ranks. So, like,
she's definitely going to be a cool mid now.
Her ult is worth it, is what I'm trying to say.
She has 3 ults as opposed to just 1. But she only has the 3 abilities.
They're on a decent cooldown, but like Tybalt said, her passive lowers that a bit as she continues to do things.
As long as she's in the fight, she's going to be throwing those out like crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then
We already talked about mantra.
they changed her lore. Would you like to talk about that?
They kind of changed her lore, but they also kind of changed the lore of Ionia with it. Now her lore is that she represents a new Ionia and the troubles that Ionia is going through right now. Because half of Ionia wants to, like, be a militaristic state and go and be, on the offensive and get revenge against Noxus for all the shit they put him through. But then the other half of Ionia is like, no, we want to go back to being peaceful and meditative. And then Karma's stuck in the middle, where she wants to make everybody happy, and she's kind of going with this, we're going to defend ourselves, but we're going to be peaceful. But if anybody fucks with us, we're going to kick their asses.
Pretty
So
cool.
that's what Karma is now. The leader of Ionia, who's like, we're going to sit back and be cool, but don't you look at me funny, bro. Don't you look at me.
So,
I'm kind of excited.
So have either of you gotten the chance to play her?
No, she's
unfortunately.
disabled as of right now.
I haven't even played her on the PvE.
And I was kind of afraid to play her on the PvE because I knew she was just going to change in a moment, and I didn't want to get confused between all of it, so...
They haven't changed much from the PvE, though. I think the biggest thing is her W didn't have a heal before. So they haven't changed too much, thankfully, but... And I can't wait to play her because I haven't gotten the chance to yet.
I'm excited, though. I do have her unlocked, so I have her whenever she's available.
I think all 3 of us are going to have the traditional skin, right?
Yeah, I bought her as
Think
soon as
so.
they started really talking about the rework.
I got it last night, so I probably won't get it, but
No, that should work.
I don't really care. I don't really want to abuse Riot, but it's just nice to have. And I figured
That was the point. If they really didn't want to be abused, it would have been like, oh yeah, all people as of the day that we announced the relaunch who own her now, we know who you are going to get the skin. Anybody who unlocks her after isn't going to get it. They didn't want to be like that. That's just a dick move.
They were pretty fair about it. Like, they flat out said, well in advance, right before, like, you can buy it right before the rework. As long as you buy it before it's launched, you're fine. Which is pretty cool of them.
Okay, so moving on to the patch notes. For any of those of you who have looked at the patch notes, it looks like there's so much going on, but most of the stuff involving Champion is bugs. Just fixing bugs. So we're gonna not really talk about the bugs.
I would like to talk about Akali.
Okay, so Akali, go ahead.
The thing with Akali was her Twilight Shroud kind of worked like how bushes used to work back in the day. That was really dumb. Where you would be invisible for like a second after you walked outside of the bush or the shroud. So she could start running off in a complete direction and be like a good couple of steps outside of her shroud before it revealed where she was going. And now it's fixed, so she will be invisible as soon as she's in the shroud, as soon as she walks out of the shroud, and as soon as she chooses to do something to somebody while she's in the shroud. So it'll be a lot less stupid with how the invisibility works. because I think that's what's really breaking her right now. Is there's not a lot you can do to her inside the shroud unless you've got a vision ward.
I can't tell you how frustrated I get with Akali's. Because you think they're doing something to them in the cloud, and they just walk off like a mile away.
I've had the trouble where an Akali will just go into the shroud. I'll be like halfway across the lane from her, and then she'll show up in my face because of that
Yeah.
extra second that she's had of invisibility while walking out of the shroud.
So they fixed that.
Yes.
Cool.
It also says she's revealed upon doing something rather than just doing damage, which I didn't know. Like, that's how that worked.
Yeah, it's after she's auto-attacked you that she gets revealed. Now it's when she goes in for the auto-attack and does the wind-up that she's revealed.
Yeah. And they also increased the delay on re-stealthing, so...
Mm-hmm. That'll give her us a lot more counterplay with her going invisible.
Honestly, it was just so derpy dealing with Akali's stealth. I'm so glad they fixed it.
It got to the point where it's like buy a vision ward to deal with it because there's not enough counterplay involved with it already.
She's been a nightmare lately.
Yeah, I've kind of not really been appreciating dealing with the collies.
This should help a lot more because this will ruin a lot of the dumb stuff that she gets away with in lane. And if she doesn't snowball in lane, it gets a lot harder for her to reach critical mass.
She is basically just Magi's the champion.
Uh-huh.
That is what she is. Except she doesn't lose any stacks when she dies. She just comes and gets revenge.
Moving on, the Anivia bug fix is actually kind of funny. I want to talk about that. There was Anivia's Crystallize, which is where she makes the wall of ice. There was a bug with that and a bug fix that they did for Trundle as well, where let's say Nocturne was ulting onto somebody or Malphite was ulting onto somebody, she could just pop up the wall and it would stop them.
Ooh.
Yeah, it would stop them mid-ult, and it would completely
love to
break
see
that.
Oh my gosh.
And unfortunately, this is kind of dumb because it usually either happens on accident or in Asia. And they don't want that to be a form of counterplay if only people can do it on accident or if they're Asian.
Oh, Asians.
I would love to see a Nocturne just, like, run into a wall as he's trying to ult.
It was on, are we allowed to mention other YouTubers on this?
Yes.
Go
Okay.
for it.
The guy I watch, Jump in the Pack, he does, like, the top 5 fails and stuff. We'll link him in the description because he's a cool guy. He had a clip of that where a Nocturne went to go ult somebody and just slammed right into an Anivia wall.
That's just a hilarious image in my head.
So Hecarim actually had some actual changes with him. They kind of nerfed him a bit. They increased the cooldown of Spirit of the Dread.
What they're saying is that they want Spirit of the Dread to be used more tactfully, like
Rather than just spammed whenever it's out.
yeah, every Hecarim I've seen is just like go in. Okay, I've used all my abilities. I guess I'll just use Spirit of Dread now because why not? As opposed to saving Spirit of Dread for when the appropriate amount of burst is going to happen, where you're going to get the most healing. That's not really going to fix the fact that it's just activated and forget it, but
All they did was add 4 seconds to each level. It's
Yeah, it wasn't anything major.
at least they understand where the problem is with the skill, where it's like just activate it and then let it do its work. There's really not much involved with it. Yi actually got a rather large buff. Well, he got a huge nerf and a large buff. His double strike used to have a bug where Riot let it exist because it just helped out Yi a lot, where the second hit of his double strike could critically hit towers.
what?
Yeah. They just let him have it. It's why he was such a good tower pusher, because Master Yi didn't really do anything else. But now that Master Yi is seeing a lot more use and actually is a good
AP.
character now, they've taken that off, but they're allowing his double strike to scale off attack speed now. Because I'm not sure if you've ever played Master Yi or used him, but there was this really annoying thing when he does a double strike, where, you know, he'll be attacking, like, super fast, because, it's, you know, he's stacking, like, Phantom Dancers and shit. But then he goes in for the double strike hit, and it's, like, slow as molasses. But now they're going to fix that. So double strike is going to be a lot less annoying. I I've never lost someone in a chase because of that, but I've always had to like alpha strike after a double strike because the double strike slowed you down that much. The animation was so long.
Are
The
we going to
ribbon
talk about
thing.
Ribbon now?
Yeah, I was about to say I want to talk about the ribbon thing.
Some brilliant person out there built Zanya's hourglass on Riven, and as it turns out, it was kind of broken because it let her use her the wind slash part of her ult twice. I think it was activate the ult, wind slash, Zanya's, and then when she came out, it would wind slash again. So Riot fixed that.
AP Ribbon OP.
It's like with Season 3, all that's changed is that all the AD champions turned AP and vice versa. That's all that's changed in Season 3. That's all you need to know.
AP Yi, AP Tryndamere, AP Tristana is probably going to get nerfed soon. Everybody's playing Tristana. AP Taric. AP Taric.
Just Taric in general.
Taric in general, honestly. They changed Rumble's ult quite a bit. It does less burst damage, but it does the same amount of damage over time. So it's the same amount of damage, but instead of doing it all up front, it's going to do it all as it goes along. Because they're sick of people like getting kills with Rumble ults, they want him to use it as an initiation.
They're tired of people getting kills with their ults.
Well, Rumble's ult isn't made for the mad kills. It's made to just drop on a team fight, and it wins you the team fight. It doesn't. You don't save it for killing everybody or bursting someone down.
Still funny sounding.
Oh god, Udyr. We already talked mostly.
Took over my whole section. Just saying.
Then you should.
I'm just saying.
Didn't talk.
No, I mean, he's got it. But I'm just saying, you took over my whole section. That's okay, I'm taking over yours. Go ahead.
Okay. Udyr has the one thing that we didn't. Most of this we talked about in the last podcast, so go watch that if you're really caring about Udyr. He's gotten a massive overhaul. They are just changing pretty much everything about him. They're removing the unnecessary power that he has and giving him power where he genuinely needs it. So Turtle Stance isn't going to be the best laning phase move in existence anymore.
It's mostly just a lot of numbers.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you the days when I 3v1'd under my tower with Turtle Stance, all three of them pounding on me, and I just could not die because of Turtle Stance spamming. It was
Udyr
brilliant.
is stubborn.
I want to play Udyr again.
I want to know what he does. Like, I need to sit down and play him one day because all I know is he turns into a phoenix.
He's a martial arts master, pretty much. He's just all about punching dudes.
One of his biggest problems, though, is he couldn't keep up with people.
Mm-hmm. And that's the major thing I want to talk about on this episode, is that his bear stance, the major difference they added to it, was now it comes with a slight dash to it. I don't know if this is like a serious dash or what like Garen has, because I don't know if you played Garen since he got a couple of his abilities tweaked, but his Q now, when he does the charge on somebody and slashes them, he'll actually do a slight jump, so it's much easier to catch up to people and keep up with them. It's not like a serious dash, but it places him like a couple of units forward, and it makes his life so much easier, which is what I'm hoping that they'll do for Udyr as well.
But yeah,
So,
his passive also has the movement speed per stack thing too,
So this should turn him into a DPS monster. Because the one thing that was keeping him back from being a genuine, fighter was that he could never stick to somebody to actually deal his damage. So now that he can stick to people, maybe he can build more damage items and actually get away with it.
So this whole thing is basically just sticking ability and quality of life changes.
Yes. They're taking away all the things Udyr didn't need, and they're giving him the things he does need, which is the problem that he's been having.
Little things like Turtle Stance being able to crit now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Living Shadow fixed a bug where Zed's Living Shadow would fire into a random direction.
I think I'd found that bug before. Sometimes it would just veer off, and I always hated it.
I really couldn't tell if it was just actually the Zed that was messing up or me messing up because I am that bad at the game.
I am pretty bad at it too, but sometimes like I know for sure I didn't do it, but yeah.
And then the next big thing, didn't you want to talk about the
Turrets?
not the turrets yet, the thing where people getting the restricted chat and no, restricted chat's already been on there.
AFK detection.
There you go. Did you want to talk about the AFK detection, Michi?
A bit. I've only read over it once, but it's kind of where, like, so you get to the game. We talked about this last time. There's not much has changed, but now it's live. You get in. If you don't pick a champion, then it terminates the game, and the person who didn't pick a champion has the same penalty as if they had closed their LoL client and as if they had dodged. Same thing with teams. Like, the people who were in we're in the team with them.
Arranged teams.
Yeah, they get put back to the front of the queue. So they're not penalized for that person. That's pretty much all it really is. I don't really think
you can't be AFK in Champion Select anymore. Thank God.
And draft mode is handled where if someone doesn't get locked in, then it boots everybody, but only the one guy gets the dodge penalty.
The penalty, yeah. So that's kind of nice that they're doing that.
And now they buff turrets.
Stop! This is my section.
Then talk!
I'm trying, but you keep cutting me off.
I'm excited to hear people's opinions about this.
Yeah, they buffed turrets, guys. And you know what? I am so excited. You have no idea. Because I was so tired of getting tower dived so early in the game and them getting away with it. Like, not even like getting away with 1 health, but they were getting away with like half their health. It was so annoying.
Getting jumped by the jungler, you escape to your tower, but then the jungler and the top laner just tower dive you, kill you, and they both walk out with full health when you started at full health when they jumped at you under the tower. It's kind of BS.
Super annoying.
So turrets do more damage on the initial hit and continue to increase more than they used to per hit.
Mm-hmm.
And they adjusted the damage the tower does to siege minions and vice versa. And super minions.
Do you want to explain that and what they did?
It's just numbers, honestly. Hat just explained it well enough.
Siege minions take more damage from turrets and do less damage to turrets. And super minions take more damage from turrets, but don't do any more damage or any less.
So passive laning is going to be a little more viable now because you can't take a seriously aggressive champion and put them against a seriously passive champion, and then the passive champion just gets raffle stomped.
Guys, your turrets are safer now. We can hug all of our turrets and love them forever.
I just hope that all the turret divers don't realize this and we get into a game and they tower dive me and they die
I
and
know,
I
right?
laugh in chat because they've had this coming.
It's not a big buff, but I hope it's enough to deter diving at like level 2.
Like, I understand diving later on, whereas it's annoying when it happens to you. But when you're still in lane, and keep in mind, we're in the day where like everyone roams out like 10 minutes in. So being in lane consists of minute from the very beginning of the game till 10 minutes. So when you're getting tower dive that early, no.
Roaming is becoming like a big thing of the meta.
People are rushing the game a lot more than they used to.
I don't know how I like that.
I don't like it, but I'm a more passive, let's farm and get a bunch of cool items and then team fight kind of guy.
I am so passive. Like
everybody's shoving it towards the let's kill everybody and win the game before they can even get to the team fight phase kind of people.
I mean, I guess I don't want to say it's an illegitimate strategy. It's something you can do in the game, but sometimes it's too much.
I want all strategies to be viable. So I want the force the game to happen really quickly thing to be really viable, but I also want the, let's play and farm up and just focus on team fights kind of play to be just as viable.
Make sure the passive players aren't punished because everybody's in a rush to finish games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, on to another exciting topic. There's a new champion called Trundle, guys.
What?
Trundle's different. They, first off, they're changing his model, which is cool. We all knew that he needed a visual update. But not only are they updating it, they're kind of collaging him in with all of the stuff going on with Ash and Sejuani and Lysandra. So now he is
It's a
a
lore
frost
rework.
troll. Yeah, kind of. It's the lore we work as well as a visual. He is a frost troll now, and he's being updated with a whole bunch of icy aesthetics, which is exciting.
And the sexiest splash art I've ever seen.
He's got the whole ice club thing now too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. As far as we know, he still does all the same stuff. He just looks different, has different lore.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything about an actual skill update yet. He doesn't need it. He's boring as hell to play, but he doesn't really. His skills are still good.
He's the one that's also getting a traditional skin, right?
Yes.
Get to that.
Okay. Sorry.
Bleh. Maybe I don't think you guys are the passive players. So, like Kat said, he's getting the traditional skin now. Now, I want to give my opinion because we all know my opinion matters in the grand world. I don't particularly like the new Trundle. I like the skin that they're doing that looks like old Trundle. I like that a lot more because it's still new, but it's pretty. And I feel like that if they had just taken that and added the frost effects to it, that would have been really neat. But I don't know. I think what I need is some more pictures of him in game to see him and to actually get an understanding of what he's going to look like, because as of right now I'm kind of bleh.
May I?
Mm-hmm.
Morello, Grumpy Monkey, and I think somebody else have already explained that the GIF that we've been provided, where it's Trundle dancing like a derp, that doesn't accurately represent what he looks like now. There's a couple of things that are off kilter and done to make him look funnier, but it's not how he's actually going to look in game. So, yeah, we do need a couple more things of what he actually looks like now, because the GIF that they provided isn't an accurate representation. It's like seeing a nice car from the wrong angle.
Personally, like, I appreciate that they're doing stuff with Trundle and they're fleshing out the Freljord at the same time, but Trundle's so boring to play, in my opinion, that I don't care too much. You know? It's like,
Yeah.
they can make him look nice and stuff, that's cool, but I'm still not going to play him personally.
I should try Trundle top lane. That sounds fun.
It's so boring. I can't even describe. Like, I'd played him once, and it's like, how...
I do really, really like the traditional skin they're going with him, and I also like the fact that they keep doing this traditional skin. They're making major changes to a champion, but they're also going, hey, for all of you old school people who don't like change, here you go.
They are going to have traditional Sejuani.
I do
Oh, right,
kind of like
yeah.
that. I just like that they're doing that in general. It's a nice thing, and I think it's the same thing where you get it for free if you own him before he launches. So it's really nice that they're doing that.
It's good that they're recognizing what people liked about the older champions. That's the wrong way of wording things, but you know what I mean. People who appreciated how the
state.
champions were before aren't going to be totally ignored.
It's really good. I don't think I would have come up with this solution in a million years, and I'm glad they have. So, sort of going on into Tibalt stuff, do you want to talk about the Quinn and Valor thing with it?
Yes. Pretty much the lore that accompanied the announcement of the new Troll King is that Quinn was exploring Freljord and found an Avarosan encampment, which is part of Ash's tribe, being sacked and ruined by a bunch of trolls being led by Trundle, and that she's going to have, that.
Why are you having such trouble?
I don't know. Stop.
So let him get it out.
And Quinn and Valor have to go ask Lysandra to help Ash with this oncoming troll threat, because Ash is not going to be able to handle trolls on one end and Sejuani on the other end. So she's going to Lysandra for help. But then Quinn got to, what's it called now? Frostguard City, where Lysandra, the Ice Queen, lives. And she's like, oh yeah, the troll threat, that's not a big deal. Yeah, neither is any of the weird, creepy stuff that's going on inside the city.
Just ignore it and kind of just keep going.
So it turns out Lysandra is maybe just a little bit evil, and is possibly this ice witch that has been killing everybody in the Freljord lately.
It sounds like she's got just a big label that says "I'm not evil" on her. you know?
And if you have a label that says "I'm not evil" on you, it probably means you're evil.
She's got that look in the picture that they did, just like, yeah, what you want, bitch?
I don't like the picture that they did of her. I don't think it does her enough justice.
It is Quinn's picture, though. Bear that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
She does look evil, though. I mean, like, that. Nobody good has that hair. Just, I don't even.
It seems like Riot's going to take the, evil queen of ages past kind of take with her.
However,
I'm looking forward to her
I'm
still.
Incredibly excited for her being a champion.
Yeah, I'm glad they're bringing her in.
Evil Ice, Rog.
I am hoping that she's going to be the next one. They're not just, like, teasing us, and she's really not going to be next.
I swear to God, if they pull an Ari again, I will go over to Santa Monica, walk up to Tryndamere, and slap him. Or ask who's responsible for this, and then slap that person, because Tryndamere has a very large sword and a lot of muscle, and I don't want to take that on.
When you slap him, be sure to let him know that you're slapping the AP side of him, not the AD.
Yeah, I love AD Tryndamere, but AP Tryndamere just needs to rot in hell.
So what happened with Ari?
Fixed. Why do you still hate? Whatever.
You don't remember that? They announced Ari like a year before they released her.
I have
Oh.
suppressed all my hatred towards that over the years.
Oh my God,
Still
it took
bitter, Riot.
so long from that first sneak peek of Ari to when she was actually released.
Still
You don't remember
bitter.
that first picture we saw of her where she didn't even have the ears?
Kumiho.
Yeah,
No.
Kumiho.
I really don't. I don't think I was that involved in LoL then. Like, I had LoL, and I remember Ari coming out, but I don't really remember much of it.
I was involved enough to be like, oh my god, there's going to be a Fox Mage.
I think
then
that's
she didn't
what
appear
happened.
forever.
I think Hat was just like, oh my god, Fox Mage, and since he pretty much claimed her, I just didn't really care about her.
That's how you work.
I mean, like, he claimed her, so... Just kind of like how I'm flipping out over Zach. I mean, you two are probably going to get him if you want
We
him,
derailed.
but...
Sorry.
Things.
So, hopefully Lysandra is the next champion, and then hopefully we're going to get another of these journal things, and not to be too spoilerific, but it's going to be the journal that reveals that Lysandra is evil and that she's going to go against Ashe and Sejuani, and she's actually working with Trundle or something.
We don't know this for sure, but all signs point to yes. Just want to point that out. We're not spoiling anything for sure.
If this chick is a good guy, I'm just going to be like, wow, I don't even know anymore.
Hey, Zach was a good guy.
Yeah, I was like, they're going to pull Zach.
I was so surprised by Zach.
I'm so excited.
But I was pleasantly surprised by Zach.
Yeah.
Zach could have gone either way. Lysandra is like, is there a cartoon character who should be evil in every respect, but he's actually not? I feel like there's a thing like that.
Probably. Anywho.
Focus.
Excited for Lysandra, so.
Marceline from Adventure Time, where she's a vampire.
Right! That's the example I was probably thinking of.
The first episode they introduce her, she's like, let's go eat some brains, and it turns out you're eating brains for a good reason or something. Moving
I
on.
need to watch some Adventure Time.
Is it
I've only
now
seen
my
the one episode.
section?
Yeah, we've slowly gone into your section. It's been your
Tybalt's
section.
forum lurking, slightly delayed.
What do you want to talk about first? I want to talk about this first.
Okay. Consumables suck.
That they do.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's kind of been new meta to start off with a bunch of consumables.
I'm non-potions.
It's not uncommon for somebody to start off with a couple of wards, a red elixir, and then potions. And people are kind of annoyed by this because it's kind of dumb and annoying. And Riot has caught on to how popular it's becoming. And the red post is essentially, oh yeah, we've noticed how popular this is becoming, and we're gonna see if it's, and we're gonna look into it to see if it's actually that great for the game, because it's bleh.
People starting double elixir is frightening.
I know.
Like, you wait for a few gold at base, and you walk in with 2 freaking elixirs, both one of each. It's like, ow.
My problem has been people have been saving the elixir for a last minute heal.
Yeah.
For you've almost killed them, but then they drink the elixir and they get a bonus 200 health and they kill you. It's like the old school heal baiting.
Don't
but
even get me
it's
about,
with an item.
Don't even get me started about my attitude towards the flask either.
Mm-hmm.
God. So are they doing something about what is it?
They are looking at it. They've acknowledged that it may be a problem. And I've done it. I've started like 2 wards and 9 potions. It's completely legitimate.
Apothecary Garen. Like 13 health potions.
All right, this one next.
All right.
We've already gotten a Zon champion, Zach. We just got him. But people are already like, well, what we need is a female Zon champion. And Iron Stylus responded like, oh yeah, we've got that. We're on that. Riot Tea Time is currently working on the concept for her. So we haven't heard any actual solids other than that there is a female who is Zonite, and she's going to be a champion at some point, and that the art is being worked on
10 years later.
The art is being worked on her by Riot Tea Time, who is the chick who did the Zyra splash art and the Varus splash art. So she's probably going to be extremely sexy. If,
So-
you know,
Who do we have for Zonite so far? Victor, Zach, and anyone else?
Singed, Warwick, Mundo.
Hmm. We need
So
someone
no
A-
females.
We need someone AD now. So that's my hope for the next Zonite champion. So we can have a full team of them.
Oh, I'm excited for this one. At PAX, the Penny Arcade Expo, which they just had like yesterday.
No, it was last weekend.
Oh, sorry. Some of the major Riot artists went there and were like, yeah, we have a Riot art panel. Come talk to us and be cool with us. And what they did was they just did a live like skin concepting for everyone there, where they made sunbathing Leona on the spot. Like they went through all the concepting, they went through all the talking, and then they drew the picture.
From scratch,
And,
right? Like,
What?
From scratch, right?
From scratch, completely. And Sunbathing Leona was drawn, and it was brilliant looking, and now I want it really badly, and everybody wants it really badly.
They pretty
So-
much do her splash art, so if they don't make her, no.
And Iron Stylus has hinted that it's coming out of the word work and gonna be something, but there's nothing set in
You
stone
can't confirm
whatsoever.
it.
Like, I'm gonna presume this is going to be either several months down the line or next year kind of thing.
But
Riot
it's
being Riot.
There. It's cool.
Yeah. But
They
the
did-
interest is definitely there, and Riot definitely knows the interest is there.
They did only draw like a splash art, so they have a lot of work to do to make the skin now if they're going to do it.
As a bonus, as they were doing the splash art, they drew a Draven stash on her.
I know.
So, let's talk about something that's actually exciting. And all of
Hey.
that's on
Ouch!
I'm sorry. I meant this is really
so-
this is really exciting. I'm really excited to talk about this.
The major thing that I have to talk about today is Chew. Chew.
Pika?
We have no idea what it is. A day ago, yesterday, as of today, they put up a survey where it's like, hey, answer some of these questions. And I took the survey, and it was like, would you be interested in playing a video game based in a modern day city? What modern day city would you like it to take place in? If a game was called Chew, what would you expect from the game? What would you want a game to be about? And all this nonsense. And then
the forums went digging.
As it turns out, Riot has like copyrighted some like website names of, www.chew.com or whatever. And Chew is an acronym, CHEW. And they pretty much had you in the survey try to guess what Chew stands for. And then on the forum post, there's a bunch of Riot posts and other posts trying to guess what Chew is. But otherwise, we have no idea. Signs point to maybe a completely new game by Riot Studios. You don't know? We don't know.
League of Legends Chew.com was registered a couple days ago. So I'm curious because I feel like if it was a new game, why would it have League of Legends in front of it? Why not have Riot Chew.com?
They're probably just a lot of people like buy tons of different site domain names just to have them.
They also have ChewGame.com, ChewGame.net, and ChewSports.com. So, or Chew Esports, I'm sorry. So whatever it is, it has the potential to be an esport.
Uh-huh.
Whatever it is, that property already bought in it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for anything else Riot does.
Well, I'm going to guess that any games by Riot done from now until Doomsday are probably going to be free to play.
I
Talks
bought
about a
it.
single-player game? Single-player, possibly?
Yes. One of the questions was, do you want it to be a single-player experience?
Familiar champions from League of Legends.
I want a game sort of maybe action RPG-ish with the LOL setting. You know what I mean?
But right now, the only thing that we have is the fact that it is called Chew. It is a video game. It involves Riot, and that's it. We have nothing else whatsoever.
Because it's
Already
Riot
sold.
Games, and they only have the one game, so...
Already sold.
So what do you think Chew stands for? Answer in the comments.
You're so bad at that.
Why?
Just are. But yeah, I'm super excited. I didn't get to take the survey, so I don't know anything about it. I only know what I've seen on the forums and stuff. So
This is literally the first time I've heard of it right now. So
Mhm. No solid anything whatsoever except for the letters CHEW.
oh, it's chew as in the verb.
yeah,
It's an acronym.
like Chewie, like Chewbacca.
Well then,
Riot continuing their proud standard of good video games with horrible acronyms. I'm sorry, but LOL isn't a good acronym.
at least they
Neither
didn't
is
go with
WoW.
Raffle.
I would have loved a video game named Raffle.
Hey, you want to play a game with Raffle?
It's like the next step up from LOL. So I mean, they should have done that.
No one wants to play Raffle with me.
That's all I got for my section.
All right, sing.
Derailed.
No, come on, do the whole
I
thing.
am not your pet singing monkey.
Sing.
Sing, monkey, sing.
If you like trains and you like rails, then you're not gonna like this segment. Derail.
So this week has been kind of slow, surprisingly. I feel like not a lot of information is coming out of PAX like very quickly, but I have a couple of names of games I'm just really excited for.
Everyone who went to PAX got everything they got from PAX is putting it up as we speak in slow chunks as they get over the massive hangover that they got from PAX.
PAX flu, man.
So unfortunately, there's not much we can actually talk about from it, even though I really wanted to.
I have two names. I know nothing about them yet, but they are Dungeon Defenders 2 and Sanctum 2. Both were brilliant takes on the tower defense genre, and I loved both of those games. You and me played Sanctum a lot, Tybalt.
Yeah, I am really sad that we didn't get to put videos up of it.
We played it like when it first came out. I think that was quite a while before we started doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even have to talk about Dungeon Defenders, though. Everybody knows that game, and I'm excited for it to get more. It sounds like they're pretty much done with the DLC for the first one, so I don't know anything about those games, just that they apparently exist. I've heard the names, and I'm excited for that. That's pretty much the only thing from PAX right now that I've heard that I'm interested in, besides Transistor, of course. But I haven't heard anything new on that.
I kind of want to talk about Transistor a little bit, if you don't mind.
What do you want to talk about?
You've been telling me little tidbits all week about it, so.
Did we not talk about that last week? Or?
We talked about it. We didn't have a lot of information last week, I don't
Oh,
think.
right.
All we had was the
came out this
trailer.
week. Okay.
So we've had some, like the singing, and
We've seen the first bit of gameplay.
you guys
Mhm.
want to talk about that?
The main character is Red. She is a singer who got attacked by assassins, but was saved by a sword that's named by that's named Transistor and is voiced by the guy who was the narrator in Bastion.
Why haven't you bought this game yet?
Seriously.
You should have been buying them in the middle of that sentence. Come on now.
I've already bought 10.
And the main character, Red, had her voice stolen by the people who were going to kill her, so now she's silent. Which, yeah, it's not hitting you guys as close to home as it's hitting me, because I really like singing, and the idea of having my voice stolen and never being able to sing again is really, really sad.
Oh, I have
Believe
a
me,
horrible voice,
I've-
and I can imagine that.
I'd hate to have my voice taken. But yeah, I totally realized that we only had the trailer for the last podcast. We've seen gameplay of it now, and it has this really interesting combat system. It's sort of similar on the basic level to how Bastion played. I'm saying this all from just watching videos, by the way. So, but
Subject to change. Beta is beta.
yeah, everything we just said about the story could be different. Who knows? But it has this sort of like freeze time mechanic where you stop and it goes in, what do they call it, like strategy mode or something?
Yeah.
You stop time basically, and you have a certain allotment to plan out your moves. And you can move around while enemies are frozen and line up your attacks, and then you can watch them all play out for you.
In like super speed.
And you have to watch it to appreciate how cool it looks. It's very hard to describe it, but it looks brilliant, and it doesn't look like it's all going to be about freezing time every single time just to line up your moves and then hiding. The real time combat did look pretty interesting too, and of course you have the narrative Bastion talking to you the whole time, and I would play that game for that sole reason.
It's true.
But
That dude, I want to pay him to follow me around and narrate my life.
but I'm glad to see the combat's looking pretty interesting too. I loved the way Bastion played. I loved all the different weapons and stuff, and
Timot's actually playing through it at the moment.
We're gonna put up some footage of that hopefully soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But yeah, Supergiant Games, they're looking to be one of my favorite developers, man. Did you two have anything else to say about it?
I'm just really excited. I don't have a lot of time to play any video games at the moment, but since Timbal's been playing it, I'm probably going to have to edit it. So I'm excited to actually know what the whole fuss is about, because I've been wanting to play Bastion for a long time. I got it out of one of the Humble bundles, and then the reason why I never played it, like I started it, but I didn't have an Xbox controller to hook up to the computer, so it was just really hard to play.
It's a bit
But-
fiddly with PC controls, yeah.
I hope they fix that for Transistor, especially after how good the PC gaming market treated Bastion.
Yeah, because the thing about Bastion is it was an Xbox Live hit, and then it got ported. So I think they're going to make it for both now. So that'll be good. I will link you to the gameplay video I watched that, and you guys have to watch it if you're at all interested in Bastion or not. So yeah, those 3 games. Those are basically all my favorite things from PAX so far. Looking for more information from that. BioShock Infinite.
Explain to me why that is like the most popular game in history. I have heard nothing about it whatsoever, and then the day after it comes out, nothing but BioShock Infinite. Everything, everywhere.
You didn't play. Have you you even seen anything about the original BioShock?
I played some of it. I know that it was one of the greatest games ever made. I just didn't think, Infinite would live up to that.
Apparently it has. I've seen nothing but like perfect or near perfect scores across the board. And I've seen people like I know to be very skeptical people on the internet like turn around and say that, "Oh my god, I love this." I personally have not had the chance to play it yet. I don't own it, unfortunately. But I've seen about the first 2 hours of it so far out of curiosity. It looks brilliant. People talk about how the story is incredibly paced. The game is gorgeous. Like the first 2 hours, at least the first hour or so, you get to see the floating city. I hope I'm not spoiling anything. Everybody knows about the floating city. It's so gorgeous. Like the game looks amazing. It sounds amazing. It's more BioShock, and that's not a bad thing. It's more of what you know. Like
It's what people have been asking for since the first BioShock. And wasn't there some like intermediate BioShock that
BioShock
happened
2.
between this? Oh,
it
BioShock 2.
Yeah, BioShock 2. I don't think that was as well received.
Because I'm pretty sure it was just it
was-
wasn't actually its own game. It was just literally more BioShock. And it didn't get any of the good stuff.
It had a different protagonist, and I don't know if this is a general opinion of the internet, but I feel like it might have been a bit more of a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not, but Infinite looks amazing. I've heard only good things about it. Like everything people negative have said about it is just like little nagging things that people always find. It's yeah, it looks like a good game, and I'm excited to get a chance to play it sometime.
I'm just hoping by next week it's not going to be the whole Mass Effect thing where it has the worst ending in history. And, all the scores turned from 10 out of 10s to 0 out of 10s just because of the ending.
No, people have like played it through now. Like I'm pretty sure it would have come up by now.
Fair enough. The internet's very fast about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Plus, I think like Mass Effect 3's endings were leaked, so people knew about it beforehand. Anywho,
Yeah.
that's Bioshock Infinite. It looks great. I'm excited to play it. I guess I got two more things to talk about. Terraria came out on consoles just recently. Like, I think it came on the PS3 2 days ago, and it just came out on Xbox Live yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
We haven't put up any Terraria videos.
No, we have not.
For those who don't know, Terraria is like Minecraft, but from the 2D perspective with a lot more stuff. Minecraft is more focused on the crafting, Terraria is more focused on the adventure and the fun items.
Let me correct you on that. Everybody's first impression of Terraria upon looking at it is a 2D Minecraft. That's where the simulator you're sort of in, besides the whole crafting aspect. It's more in the vein of like I think people said Super Metroid and stuff. Like that sort of thing, mixed with like Zelda. So it
Brilliant game. Let down by the whole, it looks like Minecraft thing, where it's absolutely nothing like it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a brilliant game. It's like $10. Go play it.
It's a lot of fun. We've been wanting to play it on the channel, but just haven't actually. We sat down and we have a whole bunch of footage of it, but I don't know how good it is.
I want to start again, honestly.
I do want to start it.
It was like one of the first things we ever did, and it was awful.
It's been a year.
We'll get around to playing that sometime, but yeah, it came out on the consoles. They announced that months ago. Unfortunately, it was to the dismay of the PC market because the Terraria development guys said they were pretty much done with it after the last patch, and then suddenly they had a little teaser thing on their site, I guess, and people were like, oh my gosh, more Terraria, and then people got really disappointed when it was only it was just a console release. Not only a console release, but apparently there's exclusive content for the console version.
I don't like that it's exclusive, but I don't mind that we didn't get that content for free, because everything we have gotten since Terraria was released has been free. Stuff that should have been DLC expansion stuff, we got for free.
See, but the thing is, the Terraria company defended themselves by saying they weren't actually making this version. They only leased it to another developer to port it to consoles.
Okay.
So they didn't actually work on this at all, I don't think. At least not enough to mess around with the PC version anymore. But this exists. I wish I had realized it sooner. I could have played the trial today before this and had more of an opinion on it. But I've seen some screens. The UI actually looks a lot like the Xbox version of Minecraft. How they did the crafting thing so it's easier to use with a controller.
I hope so.
The few reviews I glanced at said it controls pretty well for a mouse and keyboard game. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm glad. I want Terraria to get all the attention it deserves. And
because there's also the sequel to Terraria coming out eventually, right?
I think what people likened it to Terraria in space or something.
It's made by Relogic, the guys who made Terraria.
I don't know anything about it. I feel like it was a space game or something. But
I'm gonna go ahead and vote that we should probably play it on the channel when it comes out.
Play
we
what?
don't know anything
The
about
next
it.
Terraria.
Duh. We need to play the the Terraria that's out now first.
We don't even know if it's like Terraria. I want to wait until
Who
we
cares?
know.
It's made by Relogic. They're awesome guys.
Even if it doesn't look interesting,
saying.
I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
But yeah, that's out now. I'll probably go play the trial. I'm not interested in buying it unless the content provided is enough to warrant it. But I'll try the trial. And last thing I really feel like mentioning is something I'm personally just excited about. Is Persona 3 is getting movie adaptation over in Japan, coming out this fall.
Oh.
And it's I don't remember. The big thing I noticed is it was called Number 1 Spring of Rebirth or something like that. I don't remember the subtitle, but the point is it said number one, so I think it's going to be a series of movies.
which would be wonderful.
I love the Persona series, at least 3 and 4. I didn't play 1 and 2, but Persona 4, the animation, like became one of my favorite animes when I watched that. So I'm excited to see Persona 3 getting a movie because I think I like the plot of Persona 3 more actually. And yeah, it was only a trailer, and it said it was coming out in fall for Japan. I'm desperately hoping that gets over to the States in English. I mean, I guess it'll at least be on the internet somewhere with subtitles, hopefully,
You can always trust the internet for that.
but I hope it comes over to the States because it's a brilliant game. And if I don't know if it's done like by the same people who did Persona 4 the animation, but that was an amazing anime. So if it's anything of like that quality, then it's gonna be great. And that's pretty much all I found interesting to me this week.
I've only got one thing for Derailed. Um, there was this one game that was an indie game that was shown at PAX. A lot of people did different videos on it, and it just looks really funny and dumb. It's called Dive Kick.
You mentioned
And-
it, but I haven't seen anything on it.
It's a fighting game that you play with only 2 buttons. One button is to jump, the other button is to kick, and you can only kick while you're jumping. So it's a fighting game that revolves all around jumping into the air and trying to get the kick on the other person.
Actually, I think I have a video of that pulled up.
It looked stupidly fun. It looked brilliant. The 2 main characters were named Dive and Kick, and they actually made like their own custom controllers where it's a big old gamepad controller with only 2 giant buttons on it, and it's so wonderful looking.
I think I saw that controller. I thought it was a joke.
It wasn't.
I think I saw a picture of it. I was like, okay, that's like a funny parody or something. But wow, I guess it's a thing.
So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this because it's made by some people who have been playing fighting games all their lives, and they've just boiled it down to like the pure essence of playing a fighting game, which I think is what fighting games need right now, somebody to just pull it back to what fighting games are supposed to be about now. Because even though it's a fighting game with only 2 buttons, it is so like intense and deep and strategic with only the 2 buttons.
Apparently, I guess it's on Greenlight, so
It
go
is
do
on
that.
Steam Greenlight.
If you like it, go do that. I guess I'll find out more about it after the podcast. So
I've already hit the green light on it because it sounds so dumb. It's just 2 buttons, jump and kick, and it should not work whatsoever, but it is absolutely brilliant.
I've heard crazy. I mean, like I've heard crazy things before, so I actually believe this could be a thing.
So that's all I've got.
I guess that wraps it up for this week then.
Pretty good podcast, I'd say so myself. Thank you
Pretty-
guys for watching.
This has been Ty,
And Miss She.
And hat.
and we hope to see you all next week.
Bye bye.